And we are back, you guys. Continuing the trial. Part 4. Go. Besides messing with the time, you'll also use a specific thing. I'm trying to lure out only Nekomaru, that specific thing is... Well, obviously not massage time. Oh, Monokuma Tai Chi. Because at 5 o'clock he thought... Well, no, he has his own clock.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the
Doesn't make any sense, because Nekomaru's not going to use the clocks. So changing them... Oh, no! Yeah, he's using the actual time of 7 o'clock.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time. That wouldn't affect Nekomaru. This radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
Yep. Kitty, not right now.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
How outrageous! I was gonna expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. It turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the noon time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
No, he's not.
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Which is exactly what we're supposed to think.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
It's not Nagito, you idiot.
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
I mean, who doesn't have an alibi? Officially, that's Nagito, but that's not who actually did it.
You're the only one!
But that is what I'm supposed to say.
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
Oh, Nagito, whoops.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there.
But it's impossible for him to have done it.
Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something.
It's not Nagito, because Nagito didn't go through the final dead room until after the murder.
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
Why not a logic dive?
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of belief.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
Because I'm deaf.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
Are they in, like, the better rooms?
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too. I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
You couldn't hear it? What is that?
Because they have the best rooms.
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common. And I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll figure it out.
Because the other one that had one of the best rooms was, I think, Fuyuhiko, who was already in the lounge. Oh, it's one of these. I was hoping it would be a drop-down menu, because I already know what it is. Luxury room, is that what it's called? Deluxe room. Deluxe suite? Didn't I already get suite? It's not an S? Deluxe rooms? This is too hard. Oh my god. Ah, stop! Oh my gosh, get me out of here. I'm taking too much damage. Critical damage.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Guest rooms are provided by quality grade. Deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent hair insulation. The other room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. The crime room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. I actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve course student talent?
No, I'm using my ultimate hope talent.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
I understood from the beginning.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue.
I don't
and a
understand what that
decisive
is.
factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
I feel like I understand what Nagito means. Killer among us. For the murder of Nekomaru. Well, I'm gonna go with my guess, although I don't understand why that...
You're the only one!
Okay, that's it. I was right.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Oh, I forgot he was in a deluxe room.
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear
I thought Fuyuhiko was also in the deluxe room. That is my mistake.
So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it,
Gundam?
There was only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation.
Sorry, Sonia.
Right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct?
You are correct. And Gundam couldn't pass by the lounge.
Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
That is very quite true.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with a wire.
Yep, that totally... Okay.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
I doubt they thought of it that thoroughly, but yeah.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi.
Okay, God, I'm really sad it was Gundam. I like Gundam.
Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey, what are you doing? That's Roxas. It's a lot of the free rule of the netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise all of a sudden.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
You could have tried to slip by, though.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Yeah, give me some, like, awesome one-liners to send you off with.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess? The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
It's actually not a bad one. He could very easily say the soundproof system was designed for humans and that his hamsters have much superior hearing.
You bastard. Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that
Well, it's
tiny
not
photo too
unfeasible.
perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote.
Well, we saw
anyway.
some more things to get through.
So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Well, it's chapter 4. It can't be the opening act.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even...
Yeah, he became overwhelmed with despair.
What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
He did. Is that bad?
Please hold on. We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal.
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct?
Well, the last part of that is definitely true.
Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, but obviously we
The
already...
elevator was broken at Grape House. You wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
No, it's...
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. That's something obviously wrong. That's what a contradiction is for. Those things contradictions that can't be overcome. So yeah, there's the... You went through the hexagon. Or the octagon. But none of these have anything to do with the octagon, do they?
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
That's not true.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time,
None of these have anything to do
there's
with
no
the...
question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
or if there was a secret passageway.
Oh, there it is.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
I'll let it play out. But I'm like, it's secret passageway. That's why I was like, there's no real clue about that. That's just something we picked up.
Elevator was the only means of travel
Between the two houses, as long as that elevator was broken.
Damn
Your
it.
assumption collapsed.
Plus, the elevator broken at Grape House. If the killer cannot return...
Since I was at Strawberry, there's no question that the follow.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much
Much longer do you plan? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel
between the two houses.
There we go.
No,
I'm getting impatient, guys. I'm sorry. That's like the crux of the
No,
case.
there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Well, obviously Nagito. I mean, come on, guys. Now you're just dragging it out.
You're the only one!
I mean, I've had this like Nagito twice in this thing.
Nagito, you should know. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
We've already established this. Why are we talking about it again? Yeah, I remember.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Yep.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Oh, we're doing this thing now?
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
What?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
What if we value your life?
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't.
You're not the
like me
Hulk,
when I'm
dude.
Angry.
Again, I don't know which of those it is.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say, or decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Yeah, it's really hard to like.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say, or decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Oh, I'm out of.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say, or decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I'm getting it further over, but it's like it's so hard to hit his words.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say, your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I totally got it.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say, your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
Okay, got it.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Try providing the evidence the killer went to the Octagon, right?
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
I was gonna say, because the wire is only accessible there. I actually got one on the quasi first try. I'm amazing.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too,
Secret
right?
passage.
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary.
I love doing that.
But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
Yeah, quit stomping on my game, yo!
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that.
Who do you think the protagonist is? I know I let you moonlight this time.
Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Wait, what?
Their plan
Oh,
was a
I must
balancing
press on
act of
accident.
uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay?
No, I won't do it.
Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at
I
all.
battle the Prince of Demons. I can handle a
I don't
robot.
understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
That sounds like a personal problem, dude.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this.
You
simple
have... It's a
argument
5-on-1
was just
situation.
a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Dameol. You're the one who's wrong.
such a wonderful line. However, I
It was a pretty good line, I must say.
Satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other,
We're getting ready for that
you must
debate
provide a
showdown.
reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, provide an argument to leave you no choice but to be persuaded.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you!
I always forget how these dang things work.
Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver!
Show you a cadaver?
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easy?
This is the end.
Okay. I still hate that thing.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course, that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundam. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Yep. Emissary of evil. In accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through, Supernova, Silver Fox, Sun D. Truly, this is the skyline lamentation art of the demon mouse. Haha! Soon the door of destiny shall open.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Tch.
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
Sorry, Sonia.
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
God, I'm gonna miss him. Okay. So Connie heard something from her room. I guess we need to figure out what this is. Alarm is set for 5 o'clock. It's... Ah, damn. So we start off... Nekomaru gets up. Oh man, this is hard. I don't quite know the exact order of things. So Mechamaru comes in, there he is. He shoots his hamsters. Well, damn, that's where that is. I also heard something from her room. That's where that is. No, that's not. I thought that was where that was. Damn, that's where that is. Holy crap. Everything I check is already on the stupid thing. It's 5:30 a.m. It's 5 now. That would be right when Mechamaru wakes up. Be one of these two places. Nope. Okay, yeah, fine. Shut up. Shut up. What? No, it has to be one of those two places. This is terrible. Maybe there? Okay. They're all like right at the exact same place. There's a huge hammer. I guess that goes here? No. I mean, it was before... I have no idea where the stupid hammer fits. I don't feel like it'd be in the middle of the fight. There? I have no idea where this goes! And the other two are already on the thing somewhere. There? It goes somewhere, I'm sure. There? I've tried all the places it logically fits. So now I just have to keep trying until it, like, kills me. Okay, I guess it works there. Cool. Alright, so Fuyuhiko can't sleep. That's where that goes! Why is everything in this comic strip having the exact same time? And then they met up because of the alarm clock after all this happens. Drop the chain around the doorknob back here. That's already there. Yeah, that's that. So it would be when I woke up, and I'm going to wake up right about the time he falls. Yeah, I'm gonna wake up right there. Okay, this is during their battle. Okay, so their battle is... Is there one at the very, very beginning? Last stock. So now we just have to go and find the blank ones. And then where's another blank one? So that's right where that came off.
Here's
Okay.
everything that happened in this case. Let's
Act
first
one.
go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the
We
crime.
already did this, man.
First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the
I like
same
that
building.
image there.
On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Great Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m.
Yep.
That's also the same time Monokuma Tai Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press
The
big
power of
knuckle on the back of
hamsters.
Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower.
Yep.
And to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up.
I am super happy with how, closely I got all this. Because this was hard, guys. This was hard.
He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
Yep.
That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Crack up, boom. And with that, I am going to unfortunately end this episode. Join me next time for Gundam's execution and the beginning of Chapter 5. Thanks very much for tuning in, everybody. I will see you all in the next one.